Alright, this is Otaku Phil here. I've got a 1991 Mercedes 300 CE for sale. This used to belong to my father, and then he didn't have room for it, so he asked me to try and fix it or do something with it. Just gave it to me. But I just don't have time. You know, I'm not a big Mercedes fan. I just don't have the time or money to really invest anything into it. You can see here it's got some scratches, but nothing major. We replaced the driver and passenger turn signals, this area here. So the front and the back tires are actually different sizes, and somebody, I guess, had tried to rotate the tires, not realizing that the back tires were bigger, and they got this little gash there that can easily be banged in and fixed, and it's gonna have to be repainted. I mean, otherwise, you know, you're gonna need a new clear coat, definitely some paint repair, but otherwise it doesn't look too bad. It has the old, I don't know if it's old school or he got this back in, I think, in the mid-90s. It's got the AMG rims all around. You know, you're gonna need new tinted windows. Because whoever's buying this car is more for repair or for, you know, customizing, or you can get it back to stock if you want. And you can see the 300 CE badge. Otherwise, it doesn't have any major dents or anything, no major scratches or anything. One of the issues I've come across is the driver's side. I guess it got water or something in there, so it's kind of rusted for the key. So if you have to open it up, you got to put it on the passenger side, and it unlocks everything. The electric locks still work. You can see here on the passenger side, the interior isn't terrible. It's definitely salvageable. You know, we've got some dirt and definitely some minor tears and stuff that could be addressed. But I think if this is just an inexpensive daily driver, you shouldn't have any problems. See, the driver's side has some rip tears there in the seat on the side. The back seat isn't in terrible condition. The interior, you can see the headrest. It's a little dirty, but it's not in terrible condition. Now let me go to the other side here. See the center column, it's got an aftermarket radio in it, which works. The AC does work. All the electrical cluster works, lights and everything works. The only mechanical issue that I really have with this car is the when you first start it up, especially after it's been cold, you'll get squeaking from the belt. So I don't know if that just means it needs a new belt, or maybe this belt needs to be conditioned. Whatever, you know, might be the case. You know, that's a minor repair. You can see radio works. The guides, or you gotta close the door for the guides to work. Radio works. Turn that off. So it looks like it's got 174,000 miles. The motor has been rebuilt. The motor was rebuilt, I think, back in, I want to say 2008. It was rebuilt. You can see if you can hear the motor. Oh. Sometimes it's got the this deal here. Sometimes you got to make sure that I guess the neutral switch needs to be adjusted. Let's see if I can do this here with one hand. What you do is sometimes you have to like just hold it here, and it'll recognize that it's not a neutral, and there you go. So you don't even have to hold it, you just kind of gotta get it here and then put it here, and it starts up. you can see, all the gauges work, oil pressure is fine, it's got gas, all that good stuff. So you can hear. It responds nice and properly the way it's supposed to. Brakes and all that stuff work. It's an e-brake here. It's because for safety, you know, it's got new rear rotors, new brakes all around. I changed the rear shocks to find out that the front shocks need to be replaced. If I still have, in a couple weeks I'll make a new video, I'll get the shocks replaced, but otherwise at the current price, because the shocks are, I'm selling it as is, and maybe I'll consider changing the shocks and doing all this stuff, the other little stuff later. Right now you see it's not squeaking. This is the second time I started it up. Yeah, it typically squeaks on the belt when it's cold, but after that it goes away. I'll show you the engine. The original tab is still there. We'll pull that out, and then lift it up. And here you can see the motor's running just fine. Focus. No oil leaks, none of that good stuff. I don't know too much about Mercedes motors, but it seems to run just fine. And this is the 3-liter inline 6 with a new battery. It's got a new gel battery, and that's under warranty. The rear, because the rotors have a lifetime warranty, and as you can see, it's just the shocks that need, because you can see here all this stuff is still intact. It's not, the bushing or whatever is not busted, so the bushing is still good. It just needs a new strut. You can see here all the fuses are good. These are the old style fuses. I mean, it's not a bad car. Main thing is I just don't have the room. I don't have the time or the money to really be investing into it. You know, this car we had since we were kids. We're literally the second owners. He bought this used with one owner from a dealership. He really liked it because it has this, like, it's not so much brown as this, like, they call it champagne color. Let's see here. These windows work. All windows work. This side window. All the windows work. The top should work as well. Yes, the top sunroof works just fine. Yeah, lights work, all that good stuff. Yeah, she's not a terrible car. The AC works, you know, the hazards work. The only thing that for sure doesn't work is the back. It has like a little privacy shade. That for some reason doesn't work. So when you push the button, it does that. I don't know if there's something broken, but it doesn't want to go up and down. That's about the only thing that doesn't work as far as electrical goes. You know, the button for the light works, you can see there. Or not the light, the mirror works. All that good stuff. So yeah, I'll have it right now. I have it listed on Craigslist, and I have it listed on OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace. I'm asking $1,000 for it. I'll take a trade for, you know, a classic motorcycle, like, you know, a pre-80s motorcycle. I like building those. Or I'm actually looking right now for a Honda CVCC, either a wagon or a two-door coupe. I'd also consider any pre-81 Civic. You know what? I'm not crazy about it, but I'd even consider a trade for like a the same year, like a 124 wagon. You know, because my girl has been looking for the station wagon version of this car, since this is just a two-door coupe. So yeah, if He goes, if you guys have any questions, feel free to send me a message. I'll include a link to the sale pages, and you guys can check it out. So Taco Phil here. If you got any questions, feel free to ask.